Hi, it's Nathaniel Whiston here and welcome to Mysteries of West Anglia. Today I'm travelling to the village of Horseheath. It's to the east of Linton, to the south of West Wickham and to the northeast of Bartlow. It's in South Cambridgeshire and it's in West Anglia. I'm heading to Horseheath today to investigate the mystery of buried treasure. In the appropriately named Money Lane in Horseheath, it's said that if you go there at midnight, you will hear a ghostly voice, and that voice says, "Pick up your spade and follow me." The ghost then leads you to buried treasure. The voice is said to have been the lord of the manor of Limbury House, which is no longer there, and he challenges people to find his treasure for him. He's checking it's still there, or he wants you to have it, I'm not sure, but that's where I'm going. Let's see if I hear a ghostly voice, and who knows, we might just find some buried treasure there. To get my hands on this treasure, I'm going to need a spade. Unfortunately, I don't own one, but I have a friend who does. My friend Jeremy, he and his wife Liz like to tend to their garden, and I'm going to stop round their house now and pick it up. These are all new builds around here. This is where they live. I'm going to park just here and I'm going to go and get this spade. Back in a minute. Jeremy, I'm outside your house. Where are you? I've come to pick up the spade. Yes, that's today. Well, where are you? Oh, you're joking. Well, when are you getting home? No, that's no use. I've not got time to wait. Unbelievable, unbelievable. He's at a baby shower. Liz's friends have thrown her a baby shower and all of a sudden they're about to go and do that, and I'm left here in the lurch with no spade. Even when Jeremy isn't in my videos, he still finds a way to ruin them. I've had some more misfortune with my rock opera performance. I went to the printers to get all the tickets and posters printed off, and I checked them and they've put the wrong address on there. Instead of Papworth Everard Village Hall, they wrote Papworth St Agnes Village Hall. Papworth St Agnes doesn't even have a village hall. You think they would double check these things, but no. Quite happy to take my 280 quid and print off a load of rubbish that I can't use anymore. Technically, yes, it was my fault because I said Papworth St Agnes and not Papworth Everard, but they're the professional ones. They need to have a look at this, check that I've got it right. Now I'm having to spend every evening crossing out St Agnes and write Everard on all these tickets and posters, which isn't the best use of my time. This looks like a good place to park. And we're here. We're in Horseheath. If you want to find the treasure, the story says go to Money Lane at midnight with your spade. I don't know where Money Lane is. I haven't got a spade and it's not midnight. But I'm here in Horseheath and I'm not going to let those trivial matters stop me from finding this treasure. Any of these roads could be Money Lane. It was called Money Lane hundreds of years ago and they've obviously renamed it and nobody remembers where it used to be. I'm hoping I'm just going to hear a voice and that will lead me to where I need to go. Do you hear something? It's a lawnmower. This is the centre of Horseheath. Not much of a heath. Don't think you could get many horses on there. I presume that's how it got its name. Horses on a heath, Horseheath. It's hard to hear ghostly voices when you've got planes flying overhead and lawnmowers going off and cars driving past. How am I supposed to hear this voice? It's nice and quiet here. Just listening out for that ghostly voice. No, nothing. I've looked on a map and the old site of the Limbury Manor house is in that direction. Over there, not this building, like a half a mile beyond that building. But that's where the owner of this ghostly voice used to live, so I'm going to have more luck in that direction than I am back in Horseheath. I like my chances here. Where would you bury treasure? In a built-up urban area like Horseheath, or in a forest? I did an episode of Legends of West Anglia not far from here, a place called Mutlow Hill, where I was looking for a golden coach. Now I'm back here again in South Cambridgeshire looking for more buried treasure. If any of you out there are looking for a hoard of Anglo-Saxon gold or Roman coins, then this is the place to be. There must be literally tons of it here. And I literally mean the word literally there. Is this a clue a previous treasure hunter has left behind? What does this say? Happy retirement. It's funny the things you see when you're out in the countryside. I don't think that's a clue. Despite being very creepy, this ghostly voice has saved me from buying a metal detector. I've got my very own personal assistant from the afterlife taking me to the treasure's exact location. And even better than that, I don't even need to give the ghost a cut of the loot. Whatever I find today is pure profit, minus petrol expenses. It's a warm day, but the land here is very soft. I could dig away at it with my hands and feet and make some progress. Of course, that's all I can do because Jeremy has let me down with his spade, because he's got much more important business with the Kerslake baby. Yes, Jeremy and Liz at their baby shower for their unborn baby means I don't have my spade to dig up treasure which could potentially change my life. But no, baby shower's much more important than that. Much more important. 3 cheers for the Kerslake baby. Hip hip hooray. Can I hear something now? No. I should have come at midnight. The story says to come at midnight. I should have come at midnight. While I'm walking up here, I'll give you an update on my rock opera. There's been a big development. Simon, who was playing the lead character of Jonathan Travers, is gone. We were at rehearsals the other night and it was time for him to perform his big song. This is the point of the rock opera where everything has gone wrong for him, and it's a very emotional scene. He's just lost his job, he's lost loads of money gambling, and he's got a hole in his bag for life. He's standing at the bus stop, it's dark, it's cold, it's wet, and he's trying to find out when his last bus home is. The song is called Timetable, and he was standing there, hands in pockets, mumbling the song. He was barely singing it, let alone performing it. I said, Simon, what are you doing? Anyway, we had this big argument. It escalated incredibly quickly. All of a sudden, everyone's joining in. They're all shouting at each other. Well, they're shouting at me mainly. And after 10 minutes of this, I just went, you know what, Simon, you're fired, get out. And following that, a large number of the cast also went with him. It turned out he was quite popular. So it's come down to me taking on the lead role of Jonathan Travers in Simon's place. We're having to double up on roles though because of the lack of cast now. Bob is playing my boss and my best friend, I've got a 60-year-old best friend. That looks kind of odd. And then in one scene, Lily is playing the pub landlady and the customer buying the drinks. It's very confusing, but it's what we have to do. We'll struggle on and we'll make a good show of it. Now this is interesting. This really is a lane by any standards. This could be Money Lane. I'm going to stand here for a moment and see if I can hear anything. If I don't hear anything now, it may be that you can hear something on the video that I can't hear at a different frequency. Let's just take a moment. How much would you have to dislike all of your family and all of your friends to leave your treasure buried in a field somewhere? It's a very spiteful thing to do. Going into a field, digging up a big hole and chucking all of your money in there so no one else can get their hands on it. You may as well just burn it all if you're going to do that. At least you'll keep warm for an evening. There's an interesting connection to this area with Queen Elizabeth I. Good Queen Bess, the Virgin Queen, she once stayed at Horseheath Hall. That hall no longer exists, but the site of it is nearby. It's around here somewhere. She of course used to appear on sovereigns, sixpence and shillings. And wouldn't it be a coincidence if the treasure that I find today had her face on? Because she once stayed here, near here, once. There is a lot of land out here and it could literally be anywhere. The ghost says to bring a spade, and that's important because if the treasure was buried under a house in Horseheath, the ghost would say bring an industrial sized digger. I don't think it would go down very well if I knocked on the door of a 4-bedroom house and said, do you mind if I break up your living room? A ghost has told me there's treasure under your floorboards. No, the ghost must know that you can get at it with a spade. It must be out here somewhere. Having said that, they could have built a house on top of the land since the ghost passed away. It was hundreds of years ago. This is a mystery. This is why it's called Mysteries of West Anglia. This is a mystery. Just realised I'm walking in this direction back towards Horseheath, and Limbury Manor is right over there. The site of Limbury Manor now is Limberhurst Farm, but it retains little to no trace of Limbury Manor. It's a Victorian era 6-bedroomed mansion with oak flooring, home gymnasium and pog and pole kitchen. I suppose I should have gone there to listen for the owner's voice. However, they have a gated driveway which I would struggle to get past, and even if I did, I'd have to walk half a mile up to the house, and by that time I'm sure they would have released the hounds and they would have earmarked me as dinner. When you're lost and in need of direction, a sign like that doesn't help much. Could be anywhere. I could be walking around for days. I'm going to head back. Hey look, I may not have found any treasure, but I have found a horse in Horseheath. Despite my best efforts, I wasn't able to find the buried treasure in Horseheath today, but maybe that's a good thing. It means the mystery remains and those elusive riches are still up for grabs. That's it for today's episode. I'm Nathaniel Whiston and I will see you again next time for another Mysteries of West Anglia. Goodbye.